Welcome to Venture Step Podcast, where we discuss entrepreneurship, industry trends, and the occasional book review. Google arguably had the strongest Pixel lineup announced last week, but due to their bizarre late talk show reveal, it left a lot of people confused and a bit dazed, and some people just had to tune out. For me, as a Google fanboy, and I've got the Google Pixel 9, and I had the Google Pixel, I think 7, 5, 4a, and I'm a big believer in Google and a lot of the stuff that they offered the world, like Gmail and these other Google Suite things. I'm a big Google user. I had a Google TV, all in on Google. The only thing is I might be too far deep in Google, and I'm trying to get out a little bit. I just want to get to a place where it's not a complete dependence, and I'm reevaluating my relationship with Google. Not because Google's treating me bad, but what if Google one day wants to do that and I'm stuck? So I'm saying that it was deemed a cringe fest, this announcement. And we're going to walk through some of the stuff that's important and then some background and thoughts about what they announced. And I'll show some little clips of it. I have it pulled up. So we'll have clips of the announcements, these weird situations that I'm talking about. But first off, the agenda is, what did Google actually announce and the real upgrades? Weirdest presentation format I've seen in a while. This definitely tops Sam Altman's announcement. What's his name? Blanking on his name. His announcement for his AI hardware products, where they're doing like the hug, like they're doing the hug behind, and then they canceled the product launch, and then they relaunched, and then I don't know. It's just a whole weird thing. And their video was like them meeting at a bar, and they were just talking about how cool they were and how they were awesome people and they could do all these great things. And they're just like, it was a hype video. The whole thing was just a hype video, and it was super weird. And it had AI. They used AI in the video. It was a bad video. This definitely tops that for sure. No doubt about it. Why the delivery matters just as much as devices. That's pretty important. And then just, I don't even know, how did we get that? How did we get to the point where we're having this conversation, Google? I'm dumbfounded. That video announcement that they did live, made by Google 2025, was crazy. Crazy. That would have been really rough to do live. Like, I do these podcasts, and these podcasts are live, in my opinion. I stream them. I don't think anybody tunes into the stream because they're at random times, but I don't make edits. Like, if I say something that I didn't like, or I mispronounce a word, or I start messing up, and I'm like, I don't know. That's all in here. Like, I'm not hiding anything. That's fine, because I'm perfecting my art of speaking to you in the group. So instead of hiding, I'll just leave it all out there. And through the shame of messing up, I'll eventually figure it out and I can reevaluate. But when it's live like that, on that scale, I couldn't imagine that one. Well, I could imagine it, but I wouldn't want to be in that area. Because you could just feel how awkward it was, and just how odd, like the two formats didn't match up. That's like if you're wearing party clothes, like bright neon green, and you have some tank top and some short shorts, and you're just ready to party, and you're all wired up, and then you go to a funeral. Like, the two audiences, there's just such a big clash between what they want to do and how they're going about their day. And that's kind of how it felt. Like, the announcement of the tech, like some of the tech stuff was pretty sick. But then the way that it was announced seemed really forced and awkward, with either the celeb camos or Jimmy Fallon the host of Saturday Night Live, like saying odd things. And I'm like, wow, about like small features. He's like, yeah, that's groundbreaking. And yeah, it was a bit odd. So let's get into the main takeaways. So very strong Pixel lineup. One thing I was surprised about was no announcement of a Pixel laptop. There was speculation that that was going to happen. I think the main reason why they're still waiting is they're not depreciating, but they are deprecating. Wait, no. Yeah. So they're getting rid of Chrome OS, not Chrome. Yeah, Chrome OS. See, this is the stuff that you'll get when I don't edit the episode. They're getting rid of Chrome OS, and they are rolling into one stack, and they're going all in on Android. So Chrome OS is now going to roll into Android, and then Android on your phone is going to be Android, and then the tablets are going to be Android. What does that sound like? Yeah, it sounds like iOS. iOS, which built by Swift. The coding language is called Swift. That has one tech stack for many different screen formats, and devices. And so you can produce one app and it would work on all devices. And then the developer environment for those ecosystems will handle the rest for you. And so it makes developing apps very simple, and there's not much friction. And so I think they're waiting to be one of the companies, because it's their new initiative, to launch the laptop. That's what I think. But for the Pixel 10, the Pixel Pro XL, and the Pixel Pro and the Fold, the biggest announcement I think would be the new chip. They've got the new Tensor chip. It's better. It's more efficient. I mean, is it groundbreaking? No. Is it give you more battery life and these other things? Sure. Would you upgrade if you have a 9 Pro or a 9? No. Should you upgrade if you were like 2 years away, or maybe you're looking at a different phone? 2 years. When I say 2 years away, I mean 2 years away from the most recent iteration. It depends what phone you have. If you have like a Pixel 8, then maybe you want to upgrade because you have the new design. But otherwise, no, I don't think so. If you're looking for a new phone, should you consider Pixel? Of course, but I have a Pixel, so it's like kind of biased there. Being neutral, I still think it's a really good deal. Back in the day, like when I say back in the day, like 4 or 5 years ago, like Pixels were like really good deals. They gave you all sorts of like crazy features, and for the price, I would say it was good. Like, it's not the best phone on the market for sure. Like back in the day, now Pixel is it's getting up there and in a flagship manner. Do I think it's like an absolute flagship, like an iPhone Max or a Samsung? What is a Samsung? Like a Samsung Ultra? No, but I don't think Google is trying to compete with those phones. They're just trying to get market share because they're still pretty low. So I like their phones. They're great. The software is amazing. It's like, I would describe it as the iOS version of Android, where it's a little bit less customization, very clean interface, everything's stripped out, there's no extras, it's just very minimalistic. You're using this software built by one of the best and brightest software companies in the world, Google. And so this is Google's take on their own ecosystem, Android. And so this is Google's version of Android, and it's very minimalist, and it's good. I really like it. Like, if you have used iOS or iPhones and you use a Pixel, you pick a Pixel up, it feels the same. So, okay. So the Pixel stuff looks good. The phones look good. They didn't change any designs. They upgraded the camera. They've got 100x Pro Zoom on the Pro, which was pretty interesting. Don't know what your use case would be besides being a stalker. It's like who is using that? Like my phone has, hold on. My phone goes up to 30x zoom. And I mean, the quality's still pretty good, but what are you using 100x for? I don't know what you're using it for. What use case are you that far away? And like, no, hold on, I gotta take a photo. Maybe if you're doing some landscape stuff and you're trying to get a close up of the mountains or whatever it may be, but if you're really into it, you probably have your own camera set up. Don't know what the use case is for it. Don't know how useful it is, as you could tell, because I'm struggling. But it was interesting. Don't know if it's useful though. What I did find useful is these AI features that they're rolling out. One was called Magic Q, and another one was Camera Coach, which I think is cool if you need help taking photos and like positioning the photo correctly. Not everyone's great at photos. Not everyone's interested in photos. People just want to take a couple and then call it a day. And so this would really help with people that are taking photos of the group, like a family photo. Nana, I'm looking at you. You can see we're making eye contact through this TV right now. Where they might get a little nervous or they're not as confident in their photographer abilities. This makes them a pro photographer, and it coaches them through with visual prompts, like how you want to position the camera, and then you'll take the photo, and then the camera will do all the work in the back end, and they'll do everything for you, and you'll get a whole bunch of different photos, which I thought was interesting. Great for people that need help. Okay, and then Magic Q, I talked about Magic Q. That was really cool. So it uses Gemini locally on device. This is all locally on device, by the way. Uses Gemini to take information on your text messages. The examples they shared were booking info for flights, like flight information, like when does your flight land, reservation information, and then the other one that was kind of cool was asking for a photo of Greg, but Greg was a dog. So the AI needed to know that the dog was, because it asked for Greg wearing the hat. And AI knew that Greg was the dog and had to find a dog wearing the hat and then attach the photo for them. And then for the booking information, it pulls it off of Gmail, but it's just nice. Like it's the stuff that you're doing all the time where people are asking for things and it's important, but it's not top on the list. It might be important to them, but not important to you at the time. And you've got to switch to different apps. Now you could just see the text message. You'd be like, oh, like I have to go look that up on my phone on the other app or figure it out, or I've got to get that from my computer or whatever it may be. Now you can just see what Magic Q says. And it's like, hey, I found the information. Is this right? And then you say, yep, boom, there you go. That's it. It's over. Simple. 2 clicks. I would love it. I would love it. It looked good. It looked good. I was seriously, I like that. I was seriously impressed about the Magic Q. That's something that adds real value to everybody. Everybody has that problem where you get asked a question, and you're like, I don't know. I've got to go to this different app, go look it up, pull the information, copy, paste it, put it in there, and let them know. Now you don't have to do that. When I say now, it's not rolled out yet because the phone isn't out. And I could check. I'm in the beta. I don't think I have that. And I think they're rolling that out as an exclusive. Don't think they said either, but it was kind of hard to follow with the show format they had. It was all over the place and it was crazy. So, speaking of the format, the late night show with Jimmy Fallon as the host, it didn't make much sense. And all the celebrity cameos, like they had Alice Cooper, they had Lando Norris, They had the Subway guy. They had one of the NBA players. Like, they had people just everywhere. NBA and Lando Norris made sense because Google Pixel is a like phone partner with the NBA, and so I think like any of the influencers that are there taking stuff on their phone, they've got to use the Pixel. They have the same similar thing with teams. Like, I'm a fan of Liverpool FC. It's a soccer team in England, in the city Liverpool. They're decent. They actually won today. Let's go. And like extra time in the dying embers of the game. But they have a deal with Pixel too. So players or influencers that are there, they have to use Pixels. So like all the videos shot on phones are used by Pixels. And so that stuff makes sense. And Lando Norris, the team he drives for, is sponsored by Chrome. So it makes sense. All that stuff makes sense. And then the other folks, like, it just felt like there was too many people coming in there just to do like a quick talk and then leave. Like, you're just there for 5 minutes, then you go, and then they're there for 5 minutes, and it was just so abrupt. Like, you couldn't really get the information you needed because it was about the show, the introduction, the production, the generative laughter, and it just didn't match with the ambiance and the vibe of announcing cool technology products. And this is why it's important. None of that was really done besides the Magic Cube. The other stuff was wrapped on a bow and shipped to you, and there you open it up and there's this big confetti splash and everyone is laughing and yelling, and you didn't even get to look at the present. You're in the show. You're not watching it. You're in it. And that's the issue, is that there wasn't that ability to observe. It was the ability to watch, but not observe. And those are different. And so you didn't really get to take it all in. And that is one of the reasons why it fell flat. It was very hard to watch. It was difficult in many reasons, but one of them is the forced smiles and laughter and the cueing, and it was rough. How about I show you? So let's share my screen. You won't believe it. You won't believe it. Share with audio. Okay, so this is the first announcement of the show. I'm going to play these videos all at once, but I'll stop, talk, and discuss it or give an intro of what I'm trying to show you if you are listening via audio. So this is the intro of the show, a couple minutes in. Here you go.
The new Pixel products. We're going to talk about battery life. We're going to talk about tensor chips. We're going to talk about IP numbers. And we're going to party as hard as we possibly can on a Wednesday at 1 p.m. Let's do it. Come on. Seriously, this is exciting. It's like a Taylor Swift album announcement for nerds. It really... Today, we're going to talk to some of the smartest, most innovative people and Googlers on the planet. What's even more exciting is that we're here to celebrate the 10th Google Pixel. 10. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me. We also have some pretty incredible party guests to help us celebrate. Two-time NBA MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo. Formula One racing legend Lando Norris. Podcasting mogul Alex Cooper. Street photographer Andre D. Wagner. YouTube sensation Karen Polynesia. Fitness instructor extraordinaire Cody Rigsby. The incomparable Stephen Curry. And the musical talents of the Jonas Brothers. Yes. This is made by Google, and of course, it wouldn't be made by Google without hearing from this guy.
Okay, so the first part of the intro was great. Like I was like, oh wow, this is cool. This is high energy. This is different. It's a different approach. And that's fine and dandy. But the last part of the intro, you could hear all the people that are coming in on the show. Like they're showing videos of what they've done, or they're coming live and they are talking about the new feature or demoing it. And it's being demoed by the celebrities or these people, whereas previously it was demoed by like the tech people that like literally made the product. And so you could really feel their passion, like why they were excited about it. Like you could feel their energy. It's hard to say, but when you work on something for so long and it's hard, you can just admire what they've done because they're excited about it. And it kind of rubs off on you. You feel excited about it. When you pay somebody just to get on stage for 7 minutes, talk about what they're told to talk about, press the buttons that they have trained to press, and leave, there's not that same vibe, which I think is important. Okay, so this is this 100x zoom thing I was talking about. And this was one of the cringy parts. Just listen in.
This picture looks incredible, right?
Oh my God, yeah, that's me driving into work this morning.
It looks just like New York City.
Yeah.
Because you'll see that it might not, if you take it from where we actually took this shot from, way back there.
Whoa!
Now that's you driving in from.
That's rad.
Exactly. So not only do we have ProRes Zoom and everything else we talked about, the Pixel 10 Pro is extremely fast. Now that's credit to our Google Tensor G5 chip.
Tensor! Come on. You know there's Tensor nerds out there know what I'm talking about. Tensor G5!
And I just have to tell you, in Mountain View.
It's so funny. So I wanted to share that clip because of all the cued laughter, like it's a late night talk show. And another thing is, in these fireside chats that people would have, and they're recorded or there's live audience, you're talking to the other person. You're not talking to the audience. And so in these things, it seems like the idea was to talk to the host, which is Jimmy, and have a conversation and show him the stuff that Google has done and why it's so cool. But at the same time, they're also presenting, and maybe in the fireside chats, it might be an 80-20 to where they might have some stuff with the audience and they're presenting stuff or talking about whatever they're talking about, and it's more general. And then the other 80 is they're having a legitimate conversation and like they're looking the other person in the eye and they don't even care about the audience. This is a weird format where it's almost like 60-40, 60% of the time they're presenting to the audience, 40% of the time they're having conversation. And then there's the laughter and the clapping, all that stuff. It's just odd. Like, it just doesn't match the format at all. But this is something that was cool and well done. So I'll share that because I also want to be positive. This is the Magic Cube. Really like that. They give 2 quick examples or 3 quick examples, and it's pretty dope.
This is great. Tyler, my inbox is out of control, and you said that my Pixel 10 can help with that.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We've got a new feature called Magic Queue, and it's perfect for keeping on top of your messages and so much more. Want to give it a try?
Yeah. All right. Take it away.
No, Jimmy, that's your phone, which means this is also going to be your demo.
Okay. Okay. Everyone's about to see my phone. Here we go.
All right. So let's see what we got.
This is my text.
So you've been ignoring some of your friends here.
Yeah. It's a balance. It's a balance.
But we can help you out. We can help
you.
you out here. Let's start at the top. Actually, that's my boss, Rick.
Yep.
So he messaged you. Let's get back to him.
Yep. There's Rick there. He says to me, when are we getting dinner tonight? Now, if I've already made reservations.
Yep. And so at the bottom there, that button, that's Magic Queue at work. And look, you can see it already found the name of the restaurant for you. Right from the booking email that you had, you can just tap it to send. It's that easy.
That's great.
Right? Magic Queue uses Gemini capabilities to understand what you're trying to do, and then it connects the dots across all the different apps on your phone.
That's so cool. Let's do some more.
Take it away.
Steph Curry, what time do you land in the Bay? So this is me going to San Francisco, and then it found when I am going to San Francisco, like a...
That's it. Yep. Magic Queue can find just the right bit of information that you need, and then bring it straight to you.
Wow. All right, so he knows that too.
Yep. Let's give it another go.
All right, Lando, we were talking earlier. What was the new Jonas Brothers song Tim was saying I should listen to? That's I Can't Lose. That's the one we're talking about today. It's a good song off the new album, Jonas Brothers.
Yeah.
It found that because I was...
Yep. You don't have to dig back through your old messages or group chats that you have.
Magic Q.
Yep. Does all the work for you.
This is kind of fantastic. So this one's from Alex Cooper. Hey.
You got cool friends, man.
Yeah. Well, I host a talk show,
Oh.
and you meet a lot of famous people.
That's cool.
Alex says, can you share that photo of Gary in the hat?
Yeah, so this is cool here. So Magic Queue can do more than just find the information you need, but it can also help you get things done, like searching for exactly the photos that a friend's asking for. Check it out.
So I go to share photos. There's Gary.
And turns out Gary's a dog.
Gary is my dog. Yes. Gary. So there's a picture of Gary in the hat. I just click on Gary and then done. Send. Look at that.
Pretty magical, right?
Easy.
Magic Q, well done. Great presentation too. Felt authentic. Jimmy's like, wow, I'm doing the demo. And then the features that were shown were impressive. There was genuine feel like, wow, this is useful. Appreciate this. This is a great product. The delivery of the show in general was bad. Some things that people said was lacked authenticity, a show that no one wanted to watch. The Verge said it was like being trapped in a WandaVision episode. TechCrunch referred to it as a cringe fest. And I don't know how Google got to this place where they thought this was going to go well, or they're like, yes, this is our idea. This is what we're going to do. We're confident in it. And I think there's a couple things here. One, Google have historically been just killers. They just kill their products all the time. Like there's a website killed by Google, and it's got all the products that are killed. And so people have like a real issue with Google and stuff that they launch because they don't really believe that they are going to continue the product. And I think that's one of the reasons why Google announced that they're going to do above industry standard on maintaining their phones for security updates and just updates in general, because, well, people didn't really believe that they were going to keep going. And they had low market share, and just people weren't too confident in what the next steps for Pixel were. And with that said, another thing is, don't seem like they have a core identity. Like it felt like Pixel had a core identity where it was a part of Google and you were using all this AI infrastructure and technology and industry know-how and DeepMind and integrating that into the phone, and you're going to have the best phone that you could possibly have on the market, not in a hardware sense, but software and AI capabilities. That was their sell, and that has been their sell for years. And then that was good. Like I feel like people resonated with that. And the people who built the product were talking about what they built and why it was cool. And people thought it was good. I mean, it's better than you telling people what the product is. You've got to let the product speak for itself and not distract people with all these guests and things that they're trying to do. It just was too much going on. The story fell short. If you add too many points or too much color, what you're trying to get across isn't direct enough. And then if you're too direct, then you'll scare people away. You've got to find the happy medium to where you're offering enough color where that sells the story, but you're being direct enough that people don't fade out. But I think the biggest takeaway is have an identity, stick to your identity unless you need to pivot. But the good delivery amplifies the hype, and the bad delivery undermines everything about it. And I can't tell people to go to tune in to the show that they had last week. And I'm a fanboy. Like, I love Google. Like, Google's great. Just this one fell really short. And I think the last point I had before we close out is Google already has one of the best markets or marketers, and that's their fans. Like the people who use their products. They're a niche product. It's not mainstream. Like, no one cares if you have an iPhone or a Galaxy. But if you have a Pixel, it's peculiar. It's like, wow, like, why do you have a Pixel? And if people have Pixels, they're strong believers in the product. And those folks are probably more tech-centric than other folks. You don't need to be tech-centric to have a Pixel, but the early adopters typically are. And Pixel's pretty much still in that stage. And so your biggest fans and best spokespeople are the people that you're demoralizing with this show. They want to know about the tech. They want to know about what's going on. And just because I watch the Saturday Night Live show doesn't mean that I'm going to tune into Made by Google because Jimmy's hosting, or just because I listen to Alex Cooper doesn't mean I'm going to go and watch the show, the 10-minute demo she does. Those things aren't correlated. But what is correlated is if you don't let me resonate and observe and you just give me the show and let me watch it, it's going to fall short. Google's building real stuff here with Gemini, their AI stack, their hardware, the things that they're doing with AI at scale, and the benefits that they're going to be able to offer to people who use their products is going to be great. And I'm really excited about Google, OpenAI, Anthropic, Microsoft. Unfortunately, I can't say Apple because they're not pushing, but they're all pushing each other to build the best products. And that's a benefit to all of us. And so I'm excited that they keep pushing things to the next level. But I'm disappointed in their presentation. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show. Leave a comment if you feel like you want to. And my name is Dalton Anderson. Of course, wherever you are in this world, have a good day, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks again, and tune in next week. See ya. Bye.